The rain fell hard that night, the kind that blurs the city lights and drowns out every other sound. Daniel Hayes stood by the window, staring at the empty street below his apartment. It had been 11 months since she left. No calls, no texts, no explanation, just silence. And in that silence, Daniel had learned what it meant to lose someone who was still alive. Her name was Lena Carter, the woman he once planned to marry. The woman who packed her bags one morning, kissed his forehead and said, "I just need time." He never knew what that meant until tonight, because tonight she came back. It was almost midnight when the knock echoed through the apartment. 3 soft taps, hesitant, almost afraid. Daniel froze. Something deep in his chest knew. His hands trembled as he opened the door. And there she was, Lena, standing in the hallway, soaked to the bone, her hair plastered against her cheeks. Her eyes, those same hazel eyes he used to get lost in, were red and tired. But behind them was something else, something he couldn't name. And then he saw it. The baby. She held a small bundle in her arms, wrapped in a faded blue blanket, sleeping quietly. For a moment, Daniel couldn't breathe. The air felt heavier, colder. "Lena," he whispered. Her lips trembled. "Hi, Danny." He didn't move. Couldn't. His mind spun like a storm, confusion, anger, disbelief all at once. What is this?" he asked, voice barely steady. She looked down at the child, her eyes softening with a kind of broken love. "This is Noah." Daniel's throat tightened. "Yours." She nodded. Then, after a long pause that seemed to split the night in two, she added, "He's not yours." The world seemed to tilt. Daniel stepped back, the floor creaking beneath him. The only sound in the room was the baby's soft breathing and the rain against the glass. "Lena," he said slowly, "you disappeared for almost a year. I searched for you. I waited, I thought." "I know," she interrupted, tears spilling now. "And I'll tell you everything, I promise. But right now, please don't hate me. I had nowhere else to go." He stared at her, at the baby, at the woman he still loved but barely recognized. Part of him wanted to slam the door and never look back. Another part, the part that still remembered the way she used to laugh, the way she used to trace his scars with her fingertips, wanted to reach out, to hold her, to ask if she was okay. But all he could whisper was, "Why, Lena? Why come back now?" She looked at him, eyes full of guilt, love, and something darker. "Because," she said softly, "he's in danger." And with that one sentence, Daniel's quiet life shattered all over again. The apartment was silent, except for the sound of rain hitting the window and the faint hum of the city outside. Daniel stood in the middle of the living room, still trying to make sense of what had just happened. Lena sat on the couch, clutching the sleeping baby to her chest as if letting go might break him or her. Daniel paced slowly. "In danger," he repeated, his voice trembling between confusion and anger. "Lena, what are you talking about? Who's after you? Who's after the baby?" She didn't answer at first. She just looked down, her fingers tracing slow circles on the baby's blanket. "I shouldn't have come here," she whispered, "but I had nowhere else." "Stop," Daniel said, his voice cracking. "You disappear for nearly a year, come back with a baby that isn't mine and say he's in danger. You can't just drop that and stay quiet, Lena. Talk to me." Her eyes lifted to meet his, glistening with tears. "Do you remember when I said I needed time?" "Yeah," he said coldly. "I remember you walking away without looking back." Her voice trembled. "I didn't walk away from you, Danny. I was running." Daniel's breath caught. Running from what? Lena looked toward the door, as if she expected someone to burst through it any second. From him. The baby stirred, letting out a soft whimper. She rocked him gently, whispering, "SHH, it's okay, sweetheart." Then she looked back at Daniel. "His father, he's not who you think." Daniel sank into the chair across from her, his chest tightening. "Then who is he, Lena?" Her lips parted, but no words came out. Instead, tears rolled down her cheeks as she whispered, "I didn't choose this. You have to believe me." Daniel's jaw clenched. "You didn't choose this. You left me for almost a year, and you expect me to believe you didn't choose this." Lena set the baby's carrier gently on the table and stood, her hands shaking. "Danny, please, I can't explain everything yet. If I tell you, you'll hate me. You'll think I'm a monster." "Try me," he said sharply. She took a deep breath, her voice barely above a whisper. "The man I ran from, he wasn't just someone I dated. He was someone powerful, dangerous, and I thought I could escape him by disappearing." Daniel frowned, his heartbeat quickening. "Dangerous? Like, what do you mean dangerous?" Her eyes darkened. "The kind of man who doesn't lose what he thinks belongs to him." A chill ran down Daniel's spine. "And the baby?" She hesitated, then whispered, "He's his." Daniel froze. The air felt heavy again, pressing down on his chest. He looked at the child, tiny, peaceful, unaware of the storm around him, and felt something twist inside him. "Lena, what have you gotten yourself into?" She walked closer, tears streaking her face. "I didn't have a choice." He found me after I left. He forced me to stay. When I finally escaped, I came here because you're the only person I trust. Daniel rubbed his face, his mind spinning. You think I can protect you from someone like that? I don't know, she whispered, but I had to try. Then just as Daniel was about to respond, a faint noise echoed from outside, the crunch of tires on wet pavement. Lena's eyes widened instantly. She rushed to the window, peeking through the curtain. Her voice broke into a whisper. Oh God, no, he found us. The rain hadn't stopped. It hammered the windows like 1,000 fists, echoing the panic building inside Daniel's chest. Lena's face had gone pale. The color drained from her skin the moment she looked outside. Daniel moved closer, whispering, "What is it? Who's out there?" She didn't answer. Her eyes stayed fixed on the street below, one car idling under the flickering streetlight, engine running, headlights cutting through the storm. A black SUV, windows tinted, motionless, watching. Daniel's heart started to race. Lena, is that him? Her voice came out like a breath. Yes. The word hung heavy in the air, small but suffocating. Daniel's instincts kicked in. He grabbed his phone, his voice sharp now. "I'm calling the cops." Lena turned fast, her hand clutching his wrist. "No, you can't." "Why not?" he snapped. Her eyes filled again. "Because they can't protect us from him. They tried before and people got hurt." Daniel hesitated, staring at her trembling hand, at the fear in her eyes that didn't look like fear of one man. It looked like fear of the past. "Then what do we do?" he whispered. Lena looked around the room, panicked. "We have to hide. If he thinks I'm here, he won't stop until he..." A sudden knock, 3 hard bangs on the door. The sound made both of them freeze. Noah stirred in his blanket, letting out a soft cry. Daniel whispered, "Get him quiet." Lena lifted Noah, whispering, "SHH baby, please." Her voice cracked, desperate. The knocks came again, louder this time. Then a deep voice muffled through the door. "Lena, I know you're in there." Daniel's blood ran cold. Lena's body went rigid, clutching Noah tighter. "Danny, please don't open the door." The man's voice came again, calm but terrifyingly controlled. "You took something from me, Lena. I just want what's mine." Daniel whispered, "He's not coming in here." He moved toward the door quietly, his heart pounding. He looked through the peephole and froze. The man outside was tall, wearing a dark coat soaked in rain, his hair slicked back, his face hidden in the shadow of the porch light. But there was something in his stance, too calm, too sure, like he already knew how this would end. Daniel stepped back. "He's not leaving." Lena's eyes darted toward the back door. "There's another way out, the fire escape." Daniel nodded. "Go take Noah, I'll stall him." Lena shook her head frantically. "No, if he sees you." But it was too late. Another bang rattled the frame. "Lena," the voice thundered now, "open the door before I do." The doorknob started to turn slowly. Daniel's pulse surged. He reached under the counter, pulling out the old baseball bat he kept since college. His hands trembled, not from fear, but from the storm of adrenaline flooding his veins. "Go," he hissed. "Now." Lena kissed Noah's forehead, tears falling onto his tiny hands. Then she whispered, "Don't get hurt, Danny, please." He gave a faint nod, the kind that says I'll try, even when you're not sure you can. She slipped toward the back hallway, the baby bundled against her chest. Another slam hit the door, harder this time. Daniel braced himself, and then the lock snapped. The door flew open, wood splintering, wind and rain rushing inside. A dark figure stepped through the doorway, and in that moment, Daniel realized this wasn't just about love anymore. This was survival. The door crashed open and time slowed. Rain poured into the apartment like the sky itself had broken. Daniel gripped the bat tighter, knuckles white, breath shallow. The man stepped in, tall, broad-shouldered, face shadowed by the storm. His boots left wet prints on the floor, each one deliberate, echoing through the silence. Daniel shouted over the storm, "Who are you? What do you want?" The man didn't answer. He simply looked around the room, slow, assessing like he was searching for something he already knew was there. Then his gaze landed on Daniel, cold, calculated. "You're not supposed to be here," the man said, voice low and steady. "She said she was alone." Daniel felt his stomach twist. "Lena's not yours," he said, his voice cracking with anger he didn't recognize in himself. "And you're leaving right now." The man took a step forward, hands raised slightly like someone humoring a child. "You think you can protect her?" His tone was almost amused. "You don't even know what she's done." Daniel tightened his grip on the bat. "Then tell me." The man tilted his head, lightning flashing behind him, his face finally visible. A scar ran from his temple down to his jaw. His eyes were sharp, cold, almost military. "She didn't tell you, did she?" he said softly. "Of course she didn't." "Tell me what?" Daniel demanded. "She was mine," the man said. We were married. The words hit Daniel like a gunshot. His grip faltered for a split second. You're lying. The man smirked. You think that baby's yours? Daniel froze. For a moment he couldn't breathe. The storm roared outside, but all he could hear was his heartbeat pounding in his ears. Then from the back hallway, a faint sound. Lena's voice. Danny. The man turned sharply toward the sound, his expression darkening. She's here. Daniel stepped forward fast, blocking the doorway. You're not touching her. The man's hand moved toward his coat, and Daniel didn't wait to see what came next. He swung. The bat cracked against the man's shoulder, sending him stumbling back with a snarl of pain. Run, Lena! Daniel yelled. The man lunged forward, grabbing the bat mid-swing. The two struggled, feet sliding on the wet floor, rain and fury mixing in the chaos. Daniel's strength was fueled by terror, but the man was stronger, more trained. He slammed Daniel into the wall, knocking the breath out of him. Stay down, the man growled, raising the bat. And then a sound stopped him. A baby's cry. The man froze, the bat still midair. His eyes darted toward the back room. Something in his face shifted, the rage cracking for just a second. Pain, guilt, maybe even love. Don't. Lena's voice broke through, trembling but firm. She stood in the doorway, Noah clutched against her chest, her face streaked with tears. Please don't hurt him. The man's hand shook. The bat lowered an inch. Daniel, gasping for air, whispered, "Who are you?" The man's eyes met Lena's. "I'm Noah's father." Lightning flashed. The truth burned through the room like fire. And just like that, everything Daniel thought he knew about the woman he loved began to collapse. The air was thick with rain and silence. The man's words hung in the room like a blade. "I'm Noah's father." Daniel stared at him, chest heaving, confusion twisting into disbelief. "What are you talking about?" he shouted. "Lena, tell me he's lying." Lena stood frozen in the hallway, her arms wrapped protectively around Noah. Her lips trembled, eyes glistening with tears that refused to fall. For a moment, she didn't answer, and that silence was louder than any scream. "Lena," Daniel's voice cracked. "Say something." Finally, she whispered, "He's not lying." Daniel's world shattered. He stumbled back like the words had hit him harder than any punch. The man, still gripping the bat, lowered it slowly, eyes locked on Lena. "You should have told him," he said coldly. "He deserved to know." Lena's tears finally broke. "You think I didn't want to? You think I didn't try?" Her voice trembled, raw with pain. "But you left me no choice." Daniel's head snapped between them. "What choice? What's going on?" The man's jaw clenched. "She ran away with my son." Lena's voice cracked through the storm. "I ran from you." For a moment, the wind howled between them, thunder shaking the walls. And then Lena spoke again, softer this time, trembling but fierce. "You weren't just my husband, Alex. You were a soldier, a dangerous man who brought home things you shouldn't have, weapons, money, people watching us, threatening us. I begged you to stop, but you wouldn't. The night I found out I was pregnant, I realized I couldn't raise a child in that darkness." Daniel blinked, his heart racing. "So you disappeared." She nodded slowly. "I faked my death, changed my name, ran across 3 states with nothing but a backpack and hoped that someday Noah would be safe." Alex stepped closer, his face caught in the flickering light. For the first time, his eyes didn't look cruel, they looked haunted. "You think I wanted this life? I did it to protect us. Everything I did, every deal, every risk, it was to keep you safe, Lena." "Safe?" she whispered. "You nearly got us killed." A long silence stretched between them. Rain dripped through the broken doorway. The baby whimpered softly, the only innocent sound in the room full of ghosts. Daniel's voice came low, steady. "Then what now? You can't just walk back into her life like none of this happened." Alex sighed. "You don't get it, man. There are people looking for me, for her. I didn't come to hurt anyone, I came to warn her. They know where she is." Lena's breath caught. "What do you mean?" Alex's eyes met hers, dark, sincere, terrified. "They're coming tonight." Lightning flashed, the storm outside intensified, and in that split second of thunder and fear, all 3 of them realized this wasn't over. It was just beginning. The moment Alex's words hit the air, "They're coming tonight," the room seemed to shrink. Every sound outside felt sharper, closer. The rain wasn't just rain anymore, it was a warning. Daniel took a step forward. "What do you mean they're coming?" Alex's eyes darted toward the window. "They tracked my phone. I thought I ditched it, but they were already following me when I came here." Lena's breath caught. "You led them to us." Alex's voice cracked, half guilt, half panic. "I didn't mean to, but if we stay here, we're dead." Daniel turned to Lena. "We need to go now." Lena nodded, clutching Noah tighter. Her face was pale, but her eyes determined. She moved fast, grabbing a small bag from under the couch, stuffing it with diapers, milk, and a few clothes. Daniel rushed to his room, yanking open drawers, searching for keys, wallets, anything useful. But Alex stood still, eyes locked on the front door. The sound of tires screeching outside made his stomach twist. Headlights flickered through the blinds. "They're here," he whispered. Lena froze mid-step. Daniel looked up. "You said they were after you, not her." Alex's jaw tightened. "They don't care anymore. They want leverage." The next sound was unmistakable, the soft, metallic click of a car door shutting. Then another and another. Lena's heart hammered against her ribs. "Danny." "Back door," he said quickly. "Go." They ran through the narrow kitchen, lightning flashing behind them as Daniel pushed open the rear door. Cold rain poured down, soaking them instantly. Lena shielded Noah under her jacket, whispering, "It's okay, baby, it's okay." Behind them, the sound of footsteps approached, slow, steady, organized. Whoever they weren't amateurs. Alex turned, his hand instinctively reaching for the gun under his jacket. Daniel saw it, eyes narrowing. "You brought a gun here." Alex's face hardened. "You think I came unarmed knowing who's after me?" Before Daniel could respond, the first bullet shattered the front window. The sound was deafening, glass exploding, baby crying, Lena screaming. "Go," Alex shouted, firing back through the kitchen doorway. The flash of the muzzle lit his face for a split second, raw, desperate, terrified. Daniel grabbed Lena's arm, pulling her down the fire escape as Alex covered them. "Move, Lena. Don't stop." Rain made the metal stairs slip. Each step echoed like thunder. The baby's cries mixed with sirens in the distance. Or maybe it was just the storm screaming with them. At the bottom, Daniel yanked open his car door, fumbling with the keys. "Get in." Lena slid into the backseat, clutching Noah close, whispering prayers through tears. Daniel slammed the driver's door shut, engine roaring to life. But before he could pull away, Alex appeared beside the car, pounding on the window. "Take the highway," he shouted. "Head west, don't stop." Daniel hesitated. "What about you?" "I'll hold them off." Lena's eyes went wide. "Alex, no." He gave her a small, broken smile. "It's the only way." The sound of more gunfire echoed through the alley. Daniel looked at Lena, then at Alex, and for the first time, he didn't know who the hero was anymore. "Go," Alex yelled again. Daniel hit the gas. Tires screeched. The car shot forward into the rain-soaked street, headlights slicing through darkness as Alex disappeared in the mirror, swallowed by the storm. Lena sobbed softly, clutching Noah close. "He'll die out there." Daniel's jaw tightened, eyes fixed on the road ahead. "Not if he's half the man you said he was." Thunder rolled across the sky as the city lights faded behind them, and somewhere in the distance, sirens began to rise. For now, they'd escaped. But for how long? The rain turned into a roar, the kind that swallowed the world whole. Daniel's car tore through the empty streets, headlights slicing across wet asphalt as thunder cracked above. The wipers struggled to keep up, but visibility was almost zero. Every shadow looked like danger. Every sound made Lena flinch. Lena sat in the backseat, Noah cradled against her chest, whispering lullabies that were more for her than for him. Daniel's knuckles were white on the steering wheel. His breath came in short bursts, eyes darting between the road and the rearview mirror. No one spoke for miles. The only sound was rain, relentless, merciless. Finally, Daniel broke the silence. "We can't keep driving like this. They'll catch up." Lena's voice trembled. "Then where do we go?" Daniel thought for a moment, heart pounded. "There's an old cabin, my uncle's place, near the state line. It's isolated. If we make it there, we can figure out our next move." Lena nodded weakly, her eyes glassy from exhaustion. "Do you think Alex?" "Don't," Daniel cut in. He made his choice. The words came out sharper than he meant. He didn't want to hate Alex, but the image of him standing in the rain, gun in hand, haunted him. He couldn't shake the feeling that Alex wasn't done. Then flashing lights in the mirror. Lena gasped, "Danny." Daniel's stomach dropped. Two black SUVs, headlights glaring like eyes, were gaining fast. He slammed the gas pedal. The tires screamed as the car shot forward. "Hold on." Rain sprayed across the windshield as the chase began. Engines roaring through the storm. Lightning painting the road in flashes of white and blue. The first SUV pulled closer, ramming the back of Daniel's car. The impact jolted them all. Noah started crying again, his tiny wails piercing through the chaos. Lena screamed, "Danny, they're hitting us." "I see them," he shouted back, swerving hard around a curve. The car fishtailed, but Daniel steadied it, adrenaline pushing every nerve in his body to its limit. The second SUV tried to cut them off from the side. Daniel turned sharply, clipping the edge of a guardrail as sparks flew. "Hold on," he yelled. He swung the wheel, sending the car skidding onto a narrow dirt road. Mud splashed up against the windows. The SUVs followed, their engines growling like predators closing in. Lena clutched Noah tighter. "They won't stop." Daniel's mind raced. think. Then he remembered an old bridge half collapsed from a flood years ago. Locals avoided it, but maybe that's exactly what they needed. He turned left, ignoring Lena's scream as the car jolted over broken pavement. "Danny, what are you doing?" "Trust me." The road narrowed, trees closing in on both sides. The SUVs were still behind, one closer now, its lights flickering through the rain. Bullets hit the back of the car, punching holes through metal and glass. Lena ducked, covering Noah. "They're shooting." Daniel's jaw clenched. "We're almost there." Then, through the curtain of rain, the broken bridge appeared. Half the structure still stood. The rest vanished into the river below. Lena's eyes went wide. "Danny, no." He slammed the brakes, tires screeching as the car skidded to a halt just feet from the edge. The sound of rushing water filled the air. The SUV stopped behind them. Doors opened. Dark figures stepped out, flashlights cutting through the rain. Daniel turned to Lena, breath shaking. "Take Noah. Run toward the trees. Don't stop no matter what happens." Lena shook her head violently. "I'm not leaving you." Daniel's voice broke. "You have to, please." She hesitated, then kissed Noah's forehead, her tears mixing with the rain. "Come back to us," she whispered. Daniel opened the door, stepping into the storm, drenched instantly. The men were closing in. He could see their faces now, cold, masked, emotionless. He raised his hands. "You want me? Come get me." But before anyone moved, a single gunshot rang out, not from the men. From the woods, one of the masked attackers dropped to the ground. Daniel turned toward the trees, and there, barely visible through the rain, stood Alex, alive, soaked, bleeding, holding his gun steady. "You didn't think I'd let them take my family, did you?" he shouted. The storm exploded again, lightning flashing as everything descended into chaos once more. Rain poured like punishment, soaking the dirt and blood into the same mud that now covered Alex's boots. He limped forward from the trees, face pale, shirt clinging to his chest, a dark red stain spreading across his side. Daniel stared at him, disbelief written all over his face. "You're alive." Alex gave a broken grin. "Barely, but alive enough." Behind them, the masked men regrouped, shouting orders over the roaring wind. Lightning flashed, illuminating their guns. They weren't just thugs, they were trained, efficient, coordinated. Whoever wanted Lena and that baby wasn't some small-time threat. Daniel ran to Alex, pulling him behind the car for cover. "How many?" "4 left," Alex gasped, reloading his weapon with shaking hands. "But the one in charge, he's not like the rest. He wants the baby alive." Daniel froze. "Alive? Why?" Alex looked at him with haunted eyes. "Because Noah isn't just a baby. Daniel, he's proof." Thunder crashed. Daniel didn't get time to ask. Bullets ripped through the night, forcing them both down. Lena screamed from the trees, clutching Noah tight as she crouched behind a fallen trunk. Daniel shouted, "Stay down." His voice cracked with fear, not for himself, but for her. The attackers fanned out. Muzzle flashes lit the darkness. Alex fired back, dropping one of them, but every shot made his arm tremble. "They're flanking us," he yelled. Daniel grabbed his hand. "You can't even stand straight. Give me the gun." Alex hesitated, eyes locking with his. "You sure you can shoot?" Daniel's jaw clenched. "For them, I'll do anything." He snatched the gun, leaning out and firing, missing the first shot, grazing the second, then finally hitting one attacker square in the leg. The man screamed and fell, his gun clattering to the ground. Alex grabbed a rock, tossing it toward the opposite direction. "Go. Move toward Lena, I'll cover." Daniel didn't argue. He sprinted through the mud, heart pounding so hard it drowned out the thunder. When he reached the trees, Lena was crying silently, shaking. "He's back," she whispered. "Alex is alive." Daniel nodded, breathless. "He saved us again." Lena's face broke into tears, half relief, half horror. "We can't keep running forever, Danny." Before he could answer, another gunshot echoed closer, sharper, followed by Alex's scream. Daniel froze. "Alex." He turned back toward the car and saw Alex on his knees, gun knocked away. A man standing behind him with a pistol aimed at his head. The leader, black coat, calm eyes. The kind of presence that didn't need to shout to control a room or a battlefield. Lena gasped. "Who is that?" Daniel's voice trembled. "I don't know." The man's voice cut through the storm, cold and certain. "Put down the gun, Daniel, or your friend dies." Daniel raised his hands, lowering his weapon. "Please, he's hurt. Don't do this." The man tilted his head slightly, studying Daniel. "You have something that doesn't belong to you." Lena held Noah tighter, realizing they meant the baby. Daniel shouted, "He's just a child. He doesn't belong to anyone." The man smirked. "That's where you're wrong." Lightning flashed, illuminating his face, and Daniel saw a scar across his cheek, the same one from a photograph Alex once showed him years ago. "Wait," Daniel breathed. "You know him." Alex's voice came weakly. "Daniel, don't listen to him." The man chuckled. "Still lying, brother." Lena's eyes widened. "Brother." Daniel felt the world tilt. You mean, Alex, the man said softly. You didn't tell them the truth. You didn't tell them whose baby that is. Alex's face twisted in pain, both physical and emotional. Shut up. But the man just smiled, lowering his gun slightly. Go ahead, brother. Tell them. Tell them why I've been chasing you since the day that child was born. Lena's heart stopped. What is he talking about? Alex's eyes glistened. Lena, Noah isn't yours. The words hit like a thunderbolt. Daniel's knees nearly gave out. What did you just say? The wind howled, rain drumming harder as Alex whispered through tears. He's my son and they want him back. The silence that followed was heavier than the storm. Lena's lips trembled. Yours. Daniel's world shattered. Everything, the chase, the fear, the lies, suddenly made sense and broke him all at once. The man's gun lifted again. Time up. Daniel looked at Alex. Two men who had once trusted each other, now standing on opposite sides of a truth too big to escape. And then, as thunder rolled across the night sky, Daniel made a decision that would change all their lives forever. The world fell silent except for the pounding rain. Thunder rumbled in the distance, but even nature seemed to hold its breath. Daniel stood frozen, his chest tight, his mind spinning. Alex's words echoed again and again. He's my son. Lena's knees gave out. She sank into the mud, clutching Noah, tears streaming down her face as the wind whipped her hair. Her lips trembled. You lied to us. Alex's eyes were hollow, full of guilt and pain. Lena, I never meant for this to happen. I was trying to protect him, protect you. Daniel's voice cracked, fury and heartbreak twisting together. Protect us. You dragged us into a war we didn't even know existed. The man with the scar, Alex's brother, took a slow step forward, gun still aimed. He's not lying. Alex ran from us. From them. He stole what wasn't his. That child carries blood neither of you understand. Daniel turned to him, rain dripping from his hair. You expect me to believe that garbage? The man smiled faintly. Believe what you want, but when that baby grows up, when you see what he's capable of, you'll understand why governments, mercenaries, and killers have been looking for him. Daniel blinked. Capable of what? Alex shouted hoarsely. Don't listen to him, Danny. He's twisting it. Lena screamed. Stop it, both of you. I don't care about secrets or bloodlines. I just want my baby safe. The scarred man's expression darkened. Your baby, he was never yours, Miss Carter. That boy was born in a lab designed, not conceived. Daniel's breath caught. A lab. Alex's voice cracked. Enough, he's lying. But the man just smirked. Am I, brother? Tell them about Project Nova. Tell them about how you took the child from that facility before the others could get to him. Tell them how you left me behind to die. Lightning split the sky, revealing Alex's face, raw, drenched, broken. I didn't leave you to die. I left because I couldn't let them use him as a weapon. Daniel's mind reeled. None of it made sense. This wasn't just betrayal, it was madness. A weapon. You're saying that baby is some kind of experiment. Alex's voice dropped to a whisper. He's more human than any of us. But they wanted to use him for things you can't even imagine. I took him. I had to. I thought I could hide him, raise him like a normal kid until they found me again. Lena sobbed, shaking her head. You used me, Alex. You let me believe he was mine. Alex stepped forward, pain etched across his face. No, you made him yours. You loved him. That's what saved him and me. A gunshot exploded. For a second, no one moved. Then Alex staggered back, eyes wide, clutching his chest. Alex, Daniel screamed. The scarred man lowered his smoking gun. Enough talking. Daniel lunged forward, grabbing the fallen pistol from the mud. He fired once, twice, 3 times, the flashes lighting the darkness like lightning. One bullet hit the man's shoulder. He stumbled back, shouting in pain before disappearing into the storm. Daniel dropped beside Alex, who was gasping, blood mixing with rainwater. Stay with me, man. Please stay with me. Alex's eyes flickered weakly toward Lena. Take him far away. Never let them find you. Lena was sobbing uncontrollably. Don't you dare leave us, Alex. He smiled faintly, that same broken grin from the day he walked into their lives. You were the only family I ever had. His hand fell limp. The rain washed the blood from his fingers. Daniel froze, chest heaving, unable to breathe. The thunder rolled again, but it felt far away, like the world had gone numb. Lena clutched Noah tight, rocking him, whispering through tears. It's okay, baby, it's okay. Daniel finally stood, eyes locked on the darkness ahead where the scarred man had vanished. The wind howled, lightning cracked, but inside him, something had gone colder than the storm. He whispered, voice breaking. He died protecting something none of us understand, and I'm not letting that be for nothing. He turned to Lena, his face hardening. We end this whatever it takes. She looked up at him through tears. How? Daniel stared into the night. We find where this started. The storm began to fade, but for Daniel and Lena, the real one was just beginning. The rain had stopped. but the silence that followed was heavier than thunder. Dawn crept over the horizon, painting the sky in bruised shades of gray. Daniel drove with hollow eyes, the steering wheel trembling beneath his hands. In the back seat, Lena held Noah close, her lips pressed to his forehead as if she could protect him from a world gone mad. They didn't speak. There were no words left after what happened. Alex's body was gone, buried beneath the storm, both literally and inside their hearts. All that remained was the truth he died for. Hours later, they arrived at a place that didn't exist on any map, an abandoned research facility hidden deep in the woods. The metal gate hung twisted, the words Nova Genetics faintly visible through rust and bullet holes. Lena whispered, "This is where it all began." Daniel nodded, voice barely a breath. "And where it ends." They pushed inside. The halls were lined with shattered glass and flickering lights. Old computers hummed faintly like the building was still alive, remember. As they moved deeper, Lena noticed faded photos pinned to a wall, bobbies in hospital cribs, tubes attached to their tiny bodies. Notes scribbled underneath. Subject 4, enhanced DNA adaptation. Subject 5, cognitive acceleration. Her stomach turned. They were experimenting on children. Daniel's voice broke. On lives. Then in the corner of the lab they found it, a small glass capsule, still glowing faintly blue. Inside, floating in liquid, was a photo. The same baby they knew as Noah. But underneath the glass, words burned into a metal plaque read, Project Nova Prototype 1, Human Evolution Trial. Genetic base, unknown donor. Guardian assigned, A. Carter. Lena's blood ran cold. A. Carter, Alex. Daniel's eyes widened. He wasn't just running from them, he was part of them. Before they could process it, a voice echoed through the corridor, cold, steady, and familiar. "You shouldn't have come here." The scarred man stepped from the shadows, his shoulder bandaged, his eyes burning with fury. Behind him, 2 armed soldiers emerged, weapons raised. Daniel shielded Lena. "You killed your own brother and you're still doing this." The man's voice hardened. "He betrayed everything we worked for. That child is the next phase of humanity, not a bedtime story for 2 broken people." Lena clutched Noah tighter. "He's not an experiment, he's just a baby." The man's smirk faded. He was a baby. Now he's something much more. Before he could fire, Noah suddenly began to cry, a sharp, piercing wail that made the lights flicker violently. The walls trembled. Electricity danced through the air. The soldiers screamed as sparks burst from the ceiling. Daniel yelled, "Lena, get down." Glass shattered, alarms blared, and in seconds the entire lab erupted in chaos. The scarred man raised his gun again, but the lights went out. Total darkness. Then a single blinding flash. When Daniel opened his eyes, the soldiers were gone. The man was lying on the ground, barely breathing. The air smelled of ozone and burnt metal. Noah was silent now, staring up at the flickering light above them, his eyes glowing faintly blue. Lena trembled. "Danny, what just happened?" Daniel's voice was barely audible. He did that." The scarred man coughed, blood staining his lips. "You see now, he's not human, he's evolution." Daniel knelt beside him, eyes blazing. "No, he's what you made him, and I'll make sure he never becomes what you wanted." The man smiled weakly. "You can't run forever." Daniel whispered, "Watch me." He stood, grabbed Lena's hand, and they ran, the building collapsing behind them in a storm of fire and light. By the time they reached the edge of the forest, the facility was gone. Only smoke and ashes remained. Lena turned to Daniel, tears in her eyes. "What happens now?" Daniel looked at the child in her arms. His voice softened for the first time in forever. "We give him what no one else did, a chance to be human." She nodded, holding Noah close as the first rays of sunlight broke through the clouds. They didn't know where they were going, or who might still be hunting them, but for now, they had each other. As they disappeared into the horizon, Daniel whispered to himself, "Alex, you didn't die for nothing." The wind carried his words away, into a world forever changed.